AI is getting extremely worrying. Hello, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about how the recent trend of one, the Vine AI, and two, just how scary generative AI has been getting in recent months and even in just recent weeks of new stuff coming out. So, for those who don't know, there's something that I don't know if it's exactly what has been doing the Vines. And I should also probably explain that first. So there's been a lot of Vines resurfacing. Obviously, you all know Vine. Uh, they've been resurfacing, but now people have been putting them through AI to like give them good endings or whatever, and they are freaky. I saw one, and for a second, until I realized it was AI, I thought it was real. I was like, wait, whoa. I thought it was like real edited footage, right? Like they edited it around and so on. I was like, whoa, that's some really good editing. But no, it was AI, and I was like, ugh. Like if you've ever seen you probably seen the one that got really, really popular is the 9+10, and then a kid comes up behind the kid, and the kid turns around and he goes, and they're just like staring at each other before starting like to not box, but like they were just staring at each other. Then another one had it to where they started boxing, and that's scary. For one, AI being able to replicate children and make videos of children without consent of those children, by the way, because one, they are taking images of other children and then making them into other things, and two, taking edited or footage already of children and then turning it into something new. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just like being a little too pessimistic. I'm not, obviously, but that sounds extremely worrying. And a lot of times I've seen a lot of this is that people that are speaking out about how bad AI is switch up. Sorry, I have stuff on my mouth. Like they switch up whenever this comes around because it's funny. And yeah, some of them are funny, but the reason why they're funny is because it's also fucking terrifying that this is a thing at all. And then we've seen with the Luna generative AI of how now they're getting way, way better at generating things. Like, again, you can look at like the Will Smith eating and then the other thing of the eating, and but it was still messed up. And now you look to this, right? If you saw, it was like the Egyptian like animation, almost like Pixar style thing, and of like where the girls like talking and stuff. But at first, whenever I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a pretty like decent animation. And then I was like, "Oh my god, that's AI. Holy shit. Oh no." Because I was like, "Oh, this is really weird. Someone's like shitting on this person's amateur animation. Clearly there's a bunch of issues wrong with it, but this is just some amateur animation." And then as I kept watching it, I could see in the background something morph, and I was like, "Oh no, this is AI." And that is horrifying, and not horrifying in the way of scary, horrifying in the way that it is actively putting a threat to artists, right? Because we are getting to a point, especially of the world, that businesses and corporations and so on will make money any way they have. They will cut corners any way they can, right? Even the corporations and the businesses and so on, talking about how they care about innovation and they care about creativity, such as Disney and so on. They will actively go out of their way to cut corners and uh, to like roadblock creatives from creating good stories so that they can have it be a certain way that is palatable and most marketable to all people to get as much money as possible. And the moment they no longer need traditional artists that have creativity, such as with this AI that steals other work and then uses that, we start to see people get sliced out. We see no more human interaction. We no longer see human participation in these things. And that sucks because that means that eventually AI will be the thing that just completely overtakes everything, right? And it will be the thing that is making the money because they don't no longer need people. And that means again, in the long run, that us, everyday people, will be out of jobs, but will also not have money to make anything, while other people, while these corporations are raking in all of the money from things like stocks or so on, or other people with money that aren't, of the working people. And then that just continues the cycle. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And, it might as well just turn into like a oligarchy, as if it isn't already. But yeah, like that's why it's a bad thing. And also it's killing the planet. And it sounds almost facetious to say that it's killing the planet, but it is. It's much like how crypto is very bad for the environment. It takes a lot of electricity for these algorithms and for these AIs to do generative work, far more than a traditional artist just running Blender and running simulations and running rendering. Because they have to do so much, they have to go through so many different models and basically keep running the maze until they get a correct course, right? And that is just expending electricity. And obviously electricity, it's not coming from solar panels, it's not coming from clean energy, it's coming from fossil fuels, and that's just dumping into the air because it's more demand and more is being used. So yeah, just the entirety of what's been going on with AI is just stinks. It reeks. It is just terrible what is going on. And just really thinking about what it means for the future and what it means for like creatives, especially someone like me who does content creation, that it means that the love and the soul and the humanity and the creative process will be stripped from it just to create content, just to create something that rakes in money, despite the fact the whole purpose, the exact idea, the fundamental concept of creation is to do so out of a need or a want to do so, especially creative work. That is because you want to do it. You have an idea to bring into the tangible reality of our world that was in your mind and then bring it into fruition. And now with AI, you're not just bringing those imaginations into real life. No, you are jeopardizing other people. You are stealing their work and labeling it as your own and basically cutting corners in the most obscene ways possible and then writing it off as your own success. Even if you're the one that made the algorithm, even if you're the one that makes art and then trains an AI generative model around your art specifically, nobody else's, only your art, that's still taking so many shortcuts. If you're an artist, why? There are so many better applications for AI. I'm a proponent of like AI being a good thing, right? Of having good utility, right? I mean, thinking of ways, I mean, obviously with games, right, of like simulations of water physics or procedural generation or so on and so forth, as long as it does not take from artists or isn't cutting corners and actually is being beneficial as a tool, not a producer. I feel that it would be perfectly reasonable and fine to use AI, but that's not what we have here. That is not at all. And we know that people like Disney are not against using AI to get rid and save on money, despite the fact they have so much money and liquid to spend and to be able to allow expenditures on hiring people. They're so greedy, all of them are, that they want to cut out as many humans as possible. But yeah, let me know what you thought down in the comments down below. If you want to support me, a creative that is not an AI and is actually trying to do what he loves and not just do the trendy thing, I have a Patreon down below. There are exclusive stuff, and if you only want a one-time donation, I have a Cash App down there as well. Other than that, Let me know your thoughts down in the comments of what you think of not only this video, but also what I talk about in this video and what about generative AI and AI in general. Other than that, as always, I'll see you guys next one. Click.